Ghosts. We've all heard of them, and some of us might have even seen them. But what are they? Do they exist? The earliest recorded sighting can be traced back to Rome in the 1st century AD. So what really is this worldwide and seemingly timeless phenomena? Well, first we have to start off by defining what a ghost is. So a ghost is the ancient idea that someone's soul exists separately from their own body, and that soul continues to exist even after the person has died. Because of this, many societies actually started using funeral rituals to ensure that they pass over to the other side and they don't stay and haunt them. There are also many types of ghosts. People claim to see shadowy figures, full-bodied apparitions, and even little orbs, and they say that they're ghosts. All of this makes it hard to even identify a ghost. Then you get into the whole discussion of ghost versus demon, and it's really too much to cover. But what do these ghost hunters use to find out if a ghost is present? Usually if you're watching a ghost hunting TV show of any type, they're going to be using a digital voice recorder. They use these voice recorders to record EVP sessions, or electronic voice phenomena.
Back upstairs, Jordan begins to play back Pandora.
You can tell the world what happened. All you need to do is talk. Who killed you?
I'm getting a response, an intelligent response that says, Lizzie Borden. I'm friggin' scared.
You can tell the world what happened. All you need to do is talk. Who killed you? Who killed you? Abby, please, can you pull this down?
Another really common tool is just a camera with night vision on it. They say that using an infrared camera will help you actually see the ghost because of how cold their body temperature is.
Oh. Hey, Steve. Yeah? Holy crap. Are you kidding me? Did you get something on the thermal? I think we caught something.
They also tend to use an EMF, or an electromagnetic field detector. Usually these are just used by electricians to detect electromagnetic radiation, but they use it for ghost hunting because they say that ghosts can actually manipulate the electromagnetic field. Sometimes you can see them using motion detectors. They'll set up a motion detector in an empty room, and when it goes off, they'll send someone to go check it out, or they'll keep a camera on it at all times. And finally, they have a ghost box or a spirit box. This allows ghost hunters to communicate verbally with these spirits. What this box does is just scans radio frequencies to create white noise that they can use to manipulate and communicate through.
Anybody here that was here before this house was built?
Spaghetti? Tell us your name. Appletater?
Although these carry no credible evidence, there is still no scientific proof of ghosts even existing. So if they don't exist, why do people claim to see them all the time? Well, there actually are quite a few logical explanations. Now, the first logical explanation would be something called infrasound. Infrasound is any sound that's lower than a frequency of 20 Hz, and 20 Hz is the normal limit of human hearing. Infrasound can be caused by anything from weather to machines like fridges and fans. Common symptoms include vertigo, imbalance, nausea, vomiting, but most notable, they can cause feelings of depression as well as an occasional cold shiver down your spine. And creepiest of all, it can give you the feeling that someone is actually watching you.
It would, it's infrasound, and it was like long, slow waves.
Low frequency waves.
Frequency, and that it would have the same resonant frequency as some of the internal organs. So it would create fear, nausea, terror. But yeah, it never.
This is like in Jurassic Park.
Never went anywhere.
When T-Rex.
Yeah.
Like the liquid in the.
Yes.
Right, and you see the vibration in the liquid in the glass.
Right.
That type of deal.
In the 1990s, in Carverdy University, staff, researchers, and engineers all reported feeling distressed, depressed, and even frightened in their lab. One of the researchers even reported seeing a weird shadowy figure in his peripheral vision. This is just an example of infrasound. But we didn't cover all of its effects. Neil deGrasse Tyson actually explains how it can even cause hallucinations.
A fellow named Vic Tandy, who's a lecturer at Coventry University, he was curious whether infrasound, again, this is sound at a lower frequency than you can hear, what he found is that at the frequency of 18 hertz is vibrations per second of a sound wave, that about that frequency, it resonates with the structure of the human eyeball. And if you have a sound that resonates with something material, it'll make the material vibrate at that frequency. And so that's what you mean by it resonates. And when that happens to you, your eye begins to see things that are in fact not there. And there was a lab where he worked that was declared to be haunted by many people because you'd see things at the corner of your eye. And he would see it himself. And he finally actually did a research paper to show there was a subsonic vibration in the room that triggered this reaction in the human eyeball upon walking in.
Oh.
Our second explanation is sleep paralysis. Our brain naturally paralyzes our body when we go into REM sleep. REM sleep, or rapid eye movement, is when our dreams occur. Our brains will naturally paralyze our body so that we don't react to what's happening in our dreams in the waking world and end up hurting our own body. So sleep paralysis occurs when you're in between the stages of REM sleep and non-REM sleep. Simply put, it's just a glitch in your body's system. Sleep paralysis is when you wake up, but you can't move or speak. This is also linked with severe hallucinations. People report seeing people, shadows, and even monsters in their bedroom. Research has found that people who hold these supernatural beliefs are far more likely to experience these supernatural hallucinations. Some people hallucinate just out of the distress and fear of what's happening to them. And 8% of people will experience sleep paralysis at least once in their lifetime.
Sleep paralysis is the experience of either falling asleep or waking up and you find that you're paralyzed, but you have some degree of conscious awareness and your eyes are still able to move and you can look around the room. It's often a terrifying experience for people that are suffering from it, not only from the paralysis, but because of the hallucinations that often accompany it.
Another scientific explanation for why people see ghosts is just grief. 6 in 10 grieving people report seeing or hearing their dead loved ones shortly after they've died. Dr. Oliver Sacks, a physician, best-selling author, and professor of neurology, says that just seeing the face of a dead loved one helps us with the grieving process significantly. These supernatural sightings people claim to have aren't frightening, but actually very comforting for the person who sees it. So with all this scientific evidence, why do people still believe in ghosts? Well, we believe in ghosts because of our hopes and our fears. When a loved one dies, we don't want them to be gone. We'll enjoy the idea that they're still here, not visible, but with us in spirit. Sometimes people are just scared. Nobody knows what comes next, and the idea of ghosts can be comforting to some. But with the lack of evidence for ghosts, and the abundance of evidence stacking up against ghosts, we may never actually have a true answer to our question, are ghosts real?